In a previous session, we deployed a simple contract, a greetings contract, to the public Ethereum blockchain network. In this session, we're going to do the same, except we're going to deploy to a public private network. We're going to deploy in a couple of ways. First, we will do it using the MetaMask plugin in the browser. And the second way which we will do it will be by making a direct connection to the local blockchain, private blockchain that we're going to run. Let's go ahead and get started by running Ganesh, which will be the local blockchain network. And we're going to start out with the quick start settings, which create a number of accounts that we will use in a configuration that's up and running. That is, it has a block, it has a number, well, it doesn't have any transactions, but it's ready for transactions at the moment, and it has instantiated and it's up and running. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy the first account here. Note that it starts with 0E490859 or A59. And I'm going to go ahead and copy the public key. I'm going to do that so that I can import that account into MetaMask. I'm going to go ahead and add an account here, which will be account 4. I'm going to select import, then select the type private key. I'm then going to go ahead and import. And so if you remember the number 0xe490, if we look at it again, 0xe490 is the same. Now, once we switch to the address of the local blockchain, we will be able to see the Ether that we have in that account. So I'm switching here to the address on port 8545. And you can see there that I have 100 Ether. And if we go to the configurations and we look at the server, you'll see that the server is running locally and on that port. Also, you'll see that the balance for that first account is 100 Ether, and that is what we have here. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up Remix, the editor, the online editor, and I'm going to wait for that to load. And as you can see here, I'm going to select my environment, which will be Solidity. I'm then going to navigate to the source files, and this is the same contract that we deployed before. You can see there the compiler that we specified, as well as one function within the greeting contract called world that is returning hello world. So we're going to go ahead and move to the Solidity compiler and compile just to make sure that nothing has changed. And then we're going to do our deployment. Last time we mentioned that we could deploy to 3 different locations. We could deploy locally for a simulated environment. We could deploy to the MetaMask connection, which in this case is connected to the local instance of blockchain, of the Ethereum blockchain, or we could make a direct connection. For now, we're going to select the local instance, our local private blockchain. Note once again that it starts with that account number that we have been referencing, the 0xe49, and that it has recognized my contract and it's ready for it to be deployed. So I'm going to go ahead and click on deploy. I am asked to confirm within my client. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it looks like my transaction failed. I'm going to take a look at why that is. As you can see there at the end of the console output, there is a message that says error. The transaction doesn't have the correct nonce. Account has nonce of 0. The other transaction has nonce of 1. This happens from time to time when you're using the client. And the best way to fix this is I'm going to go ahead and set the option here, and I think it's not available on the pop-up. I'm going to go back to the client, select on the plugin, and then going to go ahead and navigate to settings. And I believe that within advanced, and let me go ahead, if this is the case, I can go ahead and reset the account. Because I'm jumping between different networks, the nonces can get misaligned. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the account here. It's asking me to confirm. I've gone ahead and confirm. Now I'm going to confirm just that I am where I think I am. I am on the local instance. I am on account 4, the 0xXE490, and I have 100 Ether. Now I'm going to go ahead and navigate to Remix, and I'm going to go ahead through the compilation once more, just to confirm, and then going to go back to deployment. And I'm going to go ahead and select on deploy once more. I am once more asked to confirm. I'm going to go ahead and press the button. And this time it went right through, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Hello World, and we get back the Hello World string. So that was a full cycle using MetaMask as the conduit through which we connect to the local instance of blockchain. I'm now going to attempt to do the exact same thing, except that I'm going to connect directly. So instead of connecting through MetaMask once more, I'm going to connect through entering in the address. And so it's going to ask me here if I am sure I want to connect. I'll say yes. It'll then ask me for the endpoint for the blockchain. So in this case, it is my local instance here. So remember, we did something similar within MetaMask. However, now we're not using MetaMask. We're simply using the editor that is within the browser page to make a direct connection to our blockchain. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Give it a minute for it to refresh. And once that does, I'm going to go ahead and click on deploy. And as you can see, that went right through. My contract is available. You can see there that it has an address. And if I execute it, I get the expected hello world. Now, if I go back to blocks, you'll see there that we now have several blocks. We have several transactions. And we have 2 contract deployments, one that we did under MetaMask and the other one that we did by a direct connection. So take a moment and make sure you understand the different pieces that are at work here. We were using initially MetaMask in previous examples to deploy to the public Ethereum blockchain. In this case, we made 2 deployments, but we made them directly to our blockchain network. Once through MetaMask and the second time through a direct connection to this instance. All of these are tools that you do not have to make any installation of, meaning you can just run the executables. You do not have to enter command line commands. It should be pretty easy to be able to recreate it. I'm using the plugin. I'm using Remix. Both of them are browser tools. And then I'm using Ganesh, which is a visual environment for the instance of Ethereum that I'm running locally. So go ahead and try it.